Clark, and I'll be providing some information over our festive activities for the New Year celebrations. We are very pleased to report that overall the New Year's Eve operations across the state were successful and most people enjoyed a quite safe and enjoyable evening. While alcohol played a role in some of those incidents that did occur, they were few and far between, and a lot of the police attention and community spirit contributed to a good night for most people. A strong and visible presence in the Adelaide CBD, Glenelg, Semaphore, and a lot of our coastal areas where we always like to flock and celebrate for New Year's, especially with such lovely weather. But police had an enjoyable evening mostly, with families and friends all enjoying their time out together without too many incidents. However, there were some people, of course, who did not have the best New Year and enjoyed it with some accommodation with the South Australian Police, resulting in 72 arrests, 11 people being reported, and 119 people received expiations for general offences. Those general offences usually include things such as drugs, minor offences, consuming alcohol in dry areas, those sorts of things. The declared public precincts in both Glenelg and Adelaide were highly successful. 22 people were removed from those areas and 18 were arrested for usually things like re-entering those declared public precincts. Overall, it's a slight increase this year on last year, but last year was a lot lower than general previous years. So the behaviour enjoyed by most South Australians and guests to our state was excellent. Road safety-wise, you would be aware from previous reports that there were 3 significant detections in relation to drug and alcohol driving. A man from Hillcrest who had a reading of 0.173. A second person is a 20-year-old woman from Ovingham, and she was found at Port Adelaide and had a reading of 0.196, which is almost 4 times the legal limit. And the highest reading was at about 4:45 this morning with a 20-year-old Pennington man who was stopped in North Adelaide, and his reading was 0.230, which is nearly 5 times the legal limit. All of those drivers immediately lost their licences on the spot for 12 months, and their cars were impounded. So they'll be hitting the sidewalk as far as walking everywhere for the next 12 months. Other significant incidents that did occur of slight concern is that there was a fire at Highbury, but we believe it was caused possibly by fireworks, illegal fireworks. We're still investigating, and our crime scene people will be going and doing some more work on that today. And that's the danger of fireworks, is that when you don't know how to use them and how to look after them properly, then the risk is always about fires and injuries. And speaking of injuries, in Robe last night, a male was injured and received non-life-threatening injuries when he set off a firework which exploded in his face, causing facial injuries, requiring him to go to hospital. So that's the danger of fireworks, and it can either be fire or it can be personal injury. So if people do have concerns about illicit fireworks being used in the community, please do call police and let us know, and so that we can do something about it. And that if you're going to report any of that, then you can do that anytime, day or night, on 131 444. There are offences around lighting fireworks which can carry a penalty of up to $5,000. So we would encourage members of the public to let us know about those things. that's pretty much the wrap up. The behaviour was good, and police are happy with how the operations went throughout the new year. We also have a report of an incident this morning which occurred at about 8:40 this morning, where two groups of people were on a public bus travelling down towards Port Road, and having got on in the city, a fight erupted between these two groups of people, and the bus eventually stopped at Port Road at Theberton, and the bus driver alighted from the vehicle and went and called police. These factions are known to each other. It did result in the bus being damaged, windows being smashed, and police attended, and subsequently there's been at least 17 arrests of persons involved in that affray, and they'll be charged with aggravated affray and damage offences as the investigation continues. But as I said, that was early this morning, about 8:40 a.m, and no other members of the public, and the bus driver was not injured in that process. So police are investigating, and that's continuing now.
Do you know why a police dog squad was first on scene?
Probably just happened to be closest to the area at the time. So no particular reason other than when a job like that happens and police are called, the nearest patrol and the nearest police response is tasked and would have attended.
And with something like this where so many people are arrested, I guess a bail condition might be not to contact each other. How do you police something like that? I mean, how do you know that they're not going to just go and find each other this afternoon if they're released? So, well,
all those bail conditions are an agreement that the people undertake, and it's placed upon them. And if police deal with them and come in contact with them and further on have inquiries and information, then we will investigate that and deal with it at the time. And if they breach their bail, that'll be dealt with immediately as well.
And the three people with injuries, were they passengers on the bus at the time?
Or? No. The parties that were injured, as far as we're aware, were all involved in the actual fighting. So, and these people are all known to each other.
And were there any other people on the bus at the time, or was it just the two groups?
From what I understand, there were a few other passengers on the bus, but no one was injured.
And we overheard them tell the police that they're not from South Australia. Will it likely be a part of their bail that they don't leave the state?
Generally, bail conditions do include that condition, but if they were to leave the state or needing to return, then the courts will determine that and allow for those things to occur as the court sees fit.
Are those 17 part of the 72 mentioned?
No.
No, separate. Yeah.
No, so the 72 were all through the overnight for the New Year's celebrations, and then this 17 happened later today.
And I guess, I mean, how time consuming is it going to be to process these 17 across different, cells? How is that going to take up several officers' entire day, I guess?
Look, it quite possibly will take up a lot of time, but that's our business. And so we will process them and deal with them, get the right sort of conditions in play, make sure that we've got their identifications all sorted, and also that they, having been involved in fights, are healthy and well enough to be able to undertake their bail agreements and to be released safely.
Are you aware of any weapons involved?
I'm not aware of any weapons, no.
And is there an age demographic for the two groups, or the arrested, sorry?
No, I don't know. It's too early to tell. We don't have any of those finer details at this stage.
Do you know if they're linked to any organisations?
No information of that nature at all.
And so I know 17 were arrested, but were there any more people involved? Was it over 17 in terms of people being involved?
Don't know.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, just one more.
Yep.
Have you seen or noticed more violence on buses in the last 6 months? Is this sort of a trend or anything like that? Not of this scale, of course, but just have you seen any kind of trending?
No, we've got nothing to indicate that. We haven't specifically, I don't have specific information of that nature. Occasionally these things do occur with some people in our community who do have issues and concerns and who come into these sorts of activities, but generally it's not something that we're specifically alerted to or alarmed by in relation to an increase in statistics or crime or of this nature. So,
and based on this kind of brawl, is it likely that we'll see them out on bail today or in the coming days?
I don't know. The bail decision is up to the bail authority, and they'll review every individual circumstance and make a decision accordingly.